Hello, my name is Kyle Bradford and I support iPrint, and today we're going to be talking about a method to determine the version of the iPrint client installed on each of your desktops. You could go to each desktop and right-click the system tray icon for the Micro Focus iPrint client and go to the iPrint client settings and you'll see your version there. But that would be a lot of work to run to each workstation and do that. It'd be far better if we had a way to capture all of the client versions from the server and view it all in one list, and that's what we'll be talking about. There's lots of reasons why you'll want to know the version of the iPrint client. Maybe you want a new iPrint client has been put on the server and you want to see if it gets updated to their desktops. You want to see which ones got updated and which ones did not. Or maybe you know of a problem with an older version of the iPrint client and you wanted to determine which workstations have that older problematic version. Or you may just want to do this to see how often your workstations are hitting the iPrint server. Maybe you are experiencing sluggishness and you suspect there's a workstation out there hitting the iPrint server excessively. The steps we're going to take can help you figure out which workstations are doing that. So we're going to start by capturing a LAN trace at the server. I have some commands here already, but what we'll start with is go to the TID, and by the way, we're following TID number 7021258. I'll just copy this TCP dump command. You can name this file whatever you want. I suggested iPrint client version, but you can have it be whatever you want. If you right-click in PuTTY, it'll paste what's in your clipboard and hit enter. Notice it says it's listening on ETH0, which is the default network card. And right now we're capturing packets. We're writing it to a file in the temp directory. I would let this run for 2 to 5 minutes. 2 minutes if you're in a very large environment and 5 minutes in a smaller one. Your workstations will be hitting the iPrint server for various reasons. The iPrint client and Windows, the Windows print spooler, they want to know the status of the iPrint printer. And they'll do so at regular intervals. They'll also do it at boot up time, log off, log in, when you open some applications. If you have the devices and printers window open, when you're sending a print job, there's lots of different events that trigger the workstation from trying to determine the version, to get the status of the printer. And when it does that, it sends a packet along with it that shows the version of the iPrint client. So while this is capturing, we're getting a lot of these requests. I'm in a small lab environment. I don't have a lot of workstations. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. I'm going to do a Control-C, and it writes that information to a file. Just show you that. Oh, sorry. I'm going to look at all the cat files in the temp directory, and you can see it created this file. You can see it's 842 kilobytes. And then we'll use WinSCP. And I've already connected through WinSCP. I have that file, and I can copy it, just drag and drop and let it go. You can see I already have a version there already. So now that you have the trace file on your workstation, you can go, if you don't have Wireshark installed, you can just go to wireshark.org. It'll look like this. You click the download button. It'll take you to, it'll recognize what version of operating system. I have Windows and it's 64-bit. Go ahead and install that. Just choose the defaults, and it's easy to install. I'm not going to show that. Once you have Wireshark installed, you just double-click the file, and it'll open up the Wireshark and the trace. Now notice we have lots of this. This is a different trace file, like it was captured in a different environment. But notice we have lots of different protocols, lots of traffic going on that we're not necessarily interested in. I'm going to go ahead and increase the size here. I can do a Control+ here. Hopefully this will be easier for you to see. And I'm not really interested in the TCP, SNMP, ICMP, all that traffic. That's not what I'm after right now. So it'd be nice if we had a filter that would show me only the packets that send the iPrint client version. So let's go back to the TID, and it'll tell us to paste this string into the filter. And let's see what that does. I paste that here. I click in this apply display filter window. I'm going to do a Control V. I can click this blue arrow button, or I can just hit the enter key. Then notice a lot of packets. It has a total of 1,417 packets, but only displayed are only 81. So we definitely filtered something out. Notice we have this source column here. Notice the packet numbers used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and consecutive, but we're only showing some of the packets, those that have specific information that we filtered on. I'm going to click this source, and now it's sorted by IP address that's sending the packets. Notice I have 2 packets sent from this 128 workstation, 1 from this .83, and so forth. Notice I have a lot from this 211. So now that we have this, I'm just interested in showing you this portion. So I'm going to click this top packet, and notice down here it says user agent Novell client 5.94. So this .83 workstation has the 5.94 client. I'm going to go to the next one, and I can just down arrow. This one is 5.74. And I can skip because that's the same workstation. Now I'll go to 195. He's 5.94. This 110 is 5.94. Now I'm going to arrow down 5.7194. I'm just arrowing down. It looks like we have a lot of older 5.94 and there's a 5.94. That's really old. That's this 200.200 workstation. And as an administrator, I would make a list of these, whatever my purpose is. Let's say I want to find old clients, and I would jot down the IP address of these old clients. Here's a 574. So anyway, I went through that one and found all of those. I'm going to show you just 2 more traces just to get an example of what it can look like. I'm going to make this a little bigger for you. And I'm going to sort by the source. Here we have 2 packets from the .84, and notice he is 6.09. Now I'm going to arrow down 5.64, so there's an older one, 6.09. I'm arrowing down. Here's a 5.64, and so as you can see, I have different iPrint client versions on that network, and I know the IP addresses of them. I'm going to show you one more. I click in here in the Apply Display Filter, paste, hit the Enter key. I'm going to, for our purposes, I don't need to see the packet details. I just want to see the bytes in the summary. I'm going to sort by the source. Start at the top here. And the reason I want to show you this is we're going to see some Mac clients in here. So we have the 6.09, 6.09, 6.09. I'll make this a little bigger so you can see it better. And now look at this one. This looks different. This says Agent Novell iPrint Client Linux 6.07. See that parentheses Linux? That actually means it's cups. And the Mac workstation uses cups. So these are Mac machines. So 6.07 for Mac, 6.09 here for Windows. I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it comes from a Mac machine. So with this information, you can make decisions. You can visit those workstations. You can find out who's abusing the iPrint server. See if, like, this .29 address is hitting it quite a bit. In fact, in this case, it looks like you might be sending a print job. But yeah, you can learn a lot from this and find out the version of the iPrint client on all of your workstations through a single source at the server. Thank you for watching.